Hello, everybody, and welcome to Mass Effect 2168. I think it's week 4 this week. Woohoo! So it was funny. We were just having a conversation where Ollie was asking, "Oh, do we have a handout for the ship?" And I do have a handout that has like a picture of the ship with a little key or a legend on it, but it doesn't have like all the stat stuff in there. I was like, "Oh, we don't need a handout. It's gonna look like Garbo." Frank has this amazing Excel spreadsheet or Google Docs spreadsheet, whatever it is, that looks incredible. And literally right before we were about to hand out, he goes, "Oh no, I think it just broke."
No, it's not the form that broke.
Yeah.
I think it's the stuff that I've been working on all night for the tall ship game.
Oh, is it not two separate spreadsheets or?
No, I mean like the Seas Without End thing. The pirate game that I've been
the stuff that you were
The thing he's been working on.
Yeah. But
it
does
didn't
that use the
save
same document as the other ships?
No,
Oh, no.
so it's okay.
Okay.
No, you guys are okay. I'm just crying.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, anyways, all right. So last week when we left off, you guys had completed your mission, passed it in, got your credits, stole a bunch of stuff, got credits for that, did some modifications to the ship, and then you hired a pilot to go on the ship with you. And the pilot immediately afterwards failed 2 checks and did a terrible job going through the mass relays. You guys are now stuck somewhere in space on your way over to the Omega station and have no idea where you are, where you're going. Where you are at the moment or how your systems are looking. Erin or Winnie had just made a check to stop the ship from effectively blowing up from falling out of relay from falling out of light speed so intensely fast. But the ship's okay-ish, and everybody's alive. This literally just happened, and I believe the only 2 people on the bridge at the moment are Catalolan and Tremi. And I believe Rick had an opening statement that he wanted to make to Tremi. So why don't we just take the camera straight over to Rick and see what he has to say. It's saying that I'm quiet, which is funny. This actually happened last night too. Let me see if I jack myself up, if that helps, because something about my sound must have got thrown off recently. I should be good, but we'll see. All right, Catalan, you start.
All right, so things just fucked up. Basically, the person I hired is, fucking up. That's not good. I'm paying her money for this. This is so. As soon as we drop out and we don't die, we don't explode or anything. I also believe you mentioned something about us having to make physical saves or something for the ship. I'm just gonna mention that in case you had forgotten.
Actually, I did forget. Thank you for being the good PC. It was about the whatchamacallit radiation that happens when you come falling out of intense speed so quickly. So why don't you all make me a physical save? However, do not forget that there is, for Quarians, a bonus for your race, for Krogan, a bonus for your race, and for somebody else, and the Torian has a bonus to their race. However, hold on. Before you roll that, I do have to say that Will did do a crisis averted, so in the future I probably won't mention these like this, but what happened is the systems, as they're kind of going crazy and everything like that, and when he's working on them, she's trying to do the best she can to reduce the amount of energy that's pumping through the systems, trying to cool things down, and she's able to get to several of the items. She's able to get to several of the items and try to fix them, and then by the time she gets to another item, and she's like, "Oh my god, I don't have enough time to get there and fix this system, oh my god," all of a sudden it's kind of like, for some reason, it just took care of itself. Like, she literally goes up to the system to try to fix it, and it just took care of itself. With a quick check to look over and see why and how it happened, it kind of just looks like it wasn't like the redundant systems or the redundancies that are built in there took care of it for her. It literally looks like when Antari, I always screw up her name, when the Asari was in here before, she kind of mangled wires the wrong way, doing the best she could to get the system running the best she can. And she mangled wires the wrong way, and it actually allowed this overload that wasn't supposed to happen to be filtered in a super efficient way. The wires have to be fixed now, but it definitely solved the problem for you. It actually handled the radiation problem entirely. Don't worry about the physical saves. Um,
Okay.
I wanted to roll though.
yeah. I mean, you're welcome to roll to see whether or not you fry.
I fried.
It's probably a good thing.
Oh, jeez. All right, cool. So, all right, moving on. What were we just talking about? So you had words to say with Tremi. You didn't notice the fact that all that horrible stuff just happened. It's kind of like a warning light came on, which you would obviously expect, but then things resolved themselves. You could either assume that the ship handled it well, things weren't as bad as they were, or Winnie is just that good. Make your assumptions as you see fit. Take it away, Rick.
Right, so we are now stuck in, I don't know, some ass end of space, not where we're supposed to be. I'm not very happy. There's a lot of swearing coming from the pilot seat. I imagine Winnie can hear it all the way down in engineering at this rate. So I walk over. I put my shoulder, I put my hand on her shoulder, not my shoulder on her hand. That would be, it's a bit too forward, you know.
Yep.
It's a bit too early for that.
If you put your hand on her shoulder, her head immediately snaps to look at, not at your face, not at your hand, but actually at your shoulder itself. You're a pretty smart person, and you know Torians well enough that she's looking for an easy break point. But go ahead.
After that, I would just, calmly put my hand on it and then take it off again. I don't want to, keep touching an infuriated Turian. That's going to go horribly wrong. Tremilia, I can't help but notice that you've been swearing up and down. I imagine Winnie has been getting quite the colourful readings all the way in engineering with the volume that you're going on at. Things have not been going well, have they?
I'm flying a piece of shit human thing. Can't even call this a ship. Can't even call this a ship. It's the interface is all wrong. The way that the systems communicate with one another, it makes no sense. We're sitting in the front of the ship. Why am I piloting this ship from the front of the ship? It completely changes the balance of the ship. It completely changes how you're supposed to feel, how it's supposed to ride. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
I'm quite surprised, honestly. I always figured that Turians would be welcome to the challenge to take human technology and use it better than the humans themselves would be able to.
I want nothing to do with human technology. This is complete shit. You know what I need? I need Winnie to get her ass up here and just completely overhaul this thing. This is just, I can't handle this. The wires are set up all wrong. She literally grabs a part of the keyboard and starts ripping at it to rip the thing free. Do you stop her or do you let her?
I stop her.
Okay. So she has a thing and she goes to pull it free. And so how do you say something? Do you touch her? How do you shoot her in the back of the head? How do you stop her from ripping it free?
I throw her out the air. No. I will just, I see her going for it and I do. Before you rip that out, I have set some things in motion. And at this point, I calm Winnie. Winnie, could you prepare the ship for a full reboot, please? Thank you.
Yeah. I'll make my way up there if everything's fine in engineering.
Everything it's literally, this is probably that moment where you ran over there and you just saw the systems took care of itself and you're like, huh, okay. And then this comes on comms and it's yeah, okay.
Sure. What is it you want me to do, Kettle?
Just get ready to reboot all the systems and all the interfaces back to factory settings, shall we say.
Sure. I can do that.
Okay. You don't need to make a check or anything like that. I believe your electronic skill is 1 anyways. So you just go over and you literally shut the entire ship down. This means life support, everything on the ship, everything is completely shut down. But don't worry, there's installation, there's vent, there's seals. It's not like you're gonna die from powering the ship down and back up. The whole process takes about 30 minutes to do, which for the record in this game, 30 minutes is 2 combat rounds. So that's 30 minutes that the whole ship is going to be shut down and then slowly dink, 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 powering back online and stuff like that.
Right, and as things start powering down, I will say, now, we're going to go do it like this, Tremilia. I'm going to power down the ship with Winnie's help. We're gonna reboot everything. You're gonna get a fancy new interface. I've been working away at it for a while. And it's gonna be great. And you're gonna make it work. Alright?
Hold on. You reset into factory settings and you're going to change out the interface.
Let's just say factory settings aren't exactly human settings anymore. And I wink.
She's like furious, as Torians often are. She's like furious, and she's but like when you kind of like say that and you toss your wink, I mean your character's pretty charming in his own way. Roll me a talk charisma check, please, and get a +2 on this one.
Yeah, no, I'm using my engineer ability because that's fucking bullshit.
Wait, drop lowest one. So you rolled 4 and you got a plus. Oh, your macro was written wrong.
Really? It was fine the other day.
Because it doesn't have the +2. It would have been a 6 is what you would have rolled. 36 drop lowest one +2. Except it doesn't even have your stats applied to that. So let's just look up cattle really quickly. Because it gave you an additional +2. Your charisma is a 1. Your talk is a 0, so that's a 1. So it should have been a 7 right there. Okay.
Yeah, I can do better.
Yep. No, well, I mean that's fine. So we just gotta fix the macro or whatever. So, there we go. That works.
That's better.
Okay. So, thank you for the fix. All right. So with the 10, you kind of like you say the words you say, and you toss the wink, and it gets through to her. Maybe it's just your tone. Maybe it's just your posture and everything, but you get through to her, and she very visibly calms down. And the part of the console that she was holding on to, she was about to rip away. She puts back and lets go, and she's like, "I'm gonna get a drink," and like walks to the other room and grabs into the part of the ship that has like the stash of Quarian like soda. And totally grabs one of Winnie's drinks and cracks it open, starts drinking it. Except since it's made for a quarry and it's probably got like tubes or whatever like built into it, so it's easily fed into the vac suit. And she's like, and she calms down for a little bit. All right, so is there anything else you wanted to do before the ship powers back online, or just?
I'd actually like to go and have a little chat with Entourage while things are on the down low.
Absolutely. So you can go chat with Entree and check things out. Go right ahead.
All right. So I imagine I enter the room and Entree is sitting somewhere or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's not doing much. She's just chilling. Got not much to do.
All right. So I like knock on the wall to like get her attention or something.
She'd nod. She wouldn't say anything.
I hope you're feeling a bit better after what happened recently.
It takes a lot of meditation to fix one's mind, but if one focuses on the goddess, then you can make great strides.
I'm glad to hear it. There was something I'd like to talk to you about if you have a couple of moments.
Feel free.
Well, as no doubt you've realized, I am, of course, captain of this ship. However, when things inevitably spiral down into chaos, I think it would be better for me if I were to focus on manning the communications console. However, that kind of leaves everyone in a bit of turmoil where nobody has any clear direction. And so I figured it would be a good idea to appoint someone as an executive officer, someone who takes charge of commanding the crew. And since you've had the most life experience out of any one of us, I figured it might not be a bad idea to have you basically running around and ordering the crew. Basically multiplying everyone's effectiveness if we ever get into combat.
That I can try and do. I know very little about interstellar combat or running a crew of selective vagabonds, but I think I can take that challenge.
Good. Then hereby I declare you to be my executive officer.
What a blessing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And that's it. It's like a very businessy conversation.
Mm-hmm. No, I like
Well,
it.
yeah, I
Very
mean, I
good.
figured we better square this away before actual combat starts.
That's probably a smart plan. Yeah, I didn't know you were going to do that, but that makes some sense.
Yeah. No, that's pretty sweet. All right, cool. And any other conversations you want to have?
I'm good.
Okay, cool. So when everything comes back online, your factory settings that you're setting it to, I know there were some very unique changes that you wanted to make to the like the consoles and everything that were over in the cockpit. So could you just tell me quickly what those little changes were to the various consoles or the various areas, just so we all know how you have it set?
Pretty much just like make a Turian interface for her because she's like, human stuff is terrible. I'm gonna rip it out. That's not good.
Yep.
She needs to actually be able to work that console. So yeah, I've basically given her like all the things I think she'll need, shortcuts, like obviously everything in Turian for her, with a button to switch to the regular Citadel interface thing because there's more people from the other Citadel races on here. We might need to manage in case of extreme emergency. Oh shit, everyone's dying.
Okay, awesome. So you have that with the easy switch over to the basic one or whatever. I imagine you do kind of like the same thing for your communications area where it's kind of like Solarium.
I've pretty much done the same thing for everyone,
For everyone, gotcha. Based off of who's cracks has the weapons, and it's usually in the Kurogen interface and switch over. Awesome.
There's a big button on there called "Shoot the Things."
Awesome. The only person that you can't really hook up with that is down in the engineering area. Weenie has to deal with the human AI that's currently integrated into the system because that's just what was built there, and you can't just like switch out the not AI. My apologies, VI, because that's just what is there. Luckily, Winnie is just kind of good at learning different races' ways of handling technology. It's what they do, pretty much anything technology related. Awesome. So you finally get all the systems back online. Everything's coming back online. You kind of like head over to your seat to see how things are doing a systems diagnosis. When he goes over to system diagnosis, I'm not going to make you roll, Aaron. I'll just tell you that everything seems to be functioning fine. Hands that like little clicker thing that you had set up before and shut down, that is still shut down. The decoy that you had set up for Sparky before, it's all shut down.
Okay.
So you go over to the communication sec. Can you do me a favor, Rick? Could you roll me a perception intelligence, please?
Sure.
It was loud. So with your perception intelligence check, I can tell you that you don't get it on the long range scanners, but at some point in time while you're kind of going over there and checking things over and making sure things are up and running, you eventually catch it on your mid-range scanners that there seems to be a ship heading your way. With the check that high though, at that rate though, you can't quite make up many details, only that it seems to be a frigate class ship. You're not positive yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna point all our scanners towards that and be like, keep an eye on this. And that's basically me doing that, I think. So yeah, I'm gonna be keeping a very close eye on that.
Do you tell the rest of the crew or?
Yeah, I will briefly get on like the comms to the ship and like, there's a vessel coming towards us. It appears to be a frigate-sized vessel. Everyone, if you could man your stations, that would be great. And we'll go to like yellow alert or whatever the hell.
I think we discussed that we have a pink alert.
Yeah.
I don't know what level of threat that means.
I think that means like
it's there.
We would have definitely retrofitted the lighting to be, instead of just going dark red, just, something more comfortable for the crew.
Green.
Yeah. Well, I think that her
Nice
concern
color.
was the idea that the lights blink dark with just a red light is like distracting and makes no sense. But if you just had like a constant soft pink light, that's effective. People know.
No,
that
it's kind of calming. So
yeah, it's calming, keeps you running well during high emergency.
Engage pink alert.
Engage pink alert.
I imagine yellow is also a very uncomfortable light. So instead of your yellow alert, you go for like a soft like green alert.
orange.
Or an orange alert,
So we have green alert and pink alert. Okay, sure. Green alert.
This is life now.
All right, so it was Cracks the one that was switching up the light bulbs. Like how many Krogan does it take to? All right, so anyways,
He doesn't. He just smashes them.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
It's a very hard motion for a Krogan.
I mean, Krogan,
bend
tiny
back,
arms.
leap up with tiny
You
arms.
probably had someone else do it.
Sure, you can have a ladder, but the whole logistics.
We had
of it-
Winnie riding him. Oh.
sitting on his shoulder. Well, the funny thing is, like, switching a light bulb. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I always use 3 fingers for it. So it's almost like Quarians were designed for changing light bulbs. Like, it's almost like their whole physical.
Yeah,
All I
Krogan
know is
also
that I
have
can't change light bulbs. I've got a light bulb wedged in there, and I can't get out, and it's broken. It's annoying.
Ooh, do you ever do the potato trick? Side trick.
The potato trick? What's that?
Oh, you take a potato and
You get a
you
potato,
cut off like
and
a
you
nip,
just jam it in there.
and
Yeah.
you just shove it in there and you twist it. So even if you
Oh.
accidentally have the power on, you don't electrocute yourself. You
Okay.
preferably have the power
By the
off.
way, that
You then
doesn't
throw away
work.
the potato. Don't eat the
Ah,
potato afterwards.
that's a deal breaker.
All right. So, anyways,
I'll keep that in mind, I guess.
see, Frank knows the potato trick.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it's like if you break a light bulb, you get a potato, you jam it in there. It's the starch that like gets in the creases.
Yeah.
It makes it easier to twist.
Yeah. Twist. Sweet potatoes tend to be easier because they're softer, but whatever.
No,
So
no.